This is Streak of Lightning. I think it's my favorite border. It has to be pieced in an exact sequence, not hard, but in an exact sequence, or you're going to end up having to do inset seams or partial seams. So let's do it precisely, and we'll work on it together. You have rectangles and you have quarter square triangles. You're going to place the rectangles in two different ways. Half of the blocks, or pieced triangles, go together so that the gold Roman glass is on this side, 6 of these, and 7 of the ones where it's on the opposite side. Okay? So 7 like that, 6 like this. This is why I have Post-it notes to keep my brain attached. You're going to line up the right angle and sew it with the triangle and rectangle matching. And open it up. So this is going to go in my pile here. This is my 6s. There are 2 oddball pieces. You're going to find that there are templates for these. The shorter one goes on the right side, and the longer one's going to go on the left. It's got a funny angle lopped off. It's okay with me if you use templates. I measure it with my ruler, and if it's, say, 2 1/8 plus a little, I make it 2 1/8 plus a little. It doesn't have to be super precise, but it's not an 1/8 and it's not a 1/16. It's somewhere in the middle. So you can use your ruler or you can make templates. Up to you. So the first one I'm putting together is this oddball piece with a half square triangles for an end. And then we're going to put this one, the 7 piece. Then we need 7 of these. Piece it here, and you're going to put it together like this, matching the right angle. And the points also match. And my machine wants to sew without me. There we go. This is great fun because it comes together so beautifully. There's a well-known traditional pattern called French braid, which is similar to this in that it comes together in a certain sequence without having to do partial seams. So we've got this end now, and it's going up. Now we take one of the 6 pieces, the ones like this that we need 6 of, and we put it here. And again, match the right angle. And this time we're going to have dog ears at the end. Are they dog ears or dog noses? I'm never sure. Points. They're points. And so you can see it's now coming together in a really interesting way. And now we have another one of these that will go here. And when that's done, we do this one. Once again, at the end, it's a little different. You're going to have this piece here. It will end with that. And now we're going to sew the short oddball one to the bottom. that seam, or press it a little bit, and I'm going to sew. This will already have a piece here. As you can see, it's funny at the moment. So this will be already here, and it goes zigzag, zigzag. And so once you get these two together, you can put on the last piece. The corners of the Streak of Lightning border have pinwheels. And we're back to our old half square triangles again. And they come together so. 1/4 inch seam, of course, like we've been doing all along. And we will make a pinwheel. This is a very traditional block. You've probably made hundreds of them. I know I have. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a very hard time figuring out which goes where doing a pinwheel. I turn them and turn them and turn them, and I finally usually have to look at a map. I can't tell you why, but pinwheels confound me. So I've laid out where they go, and it's certainly not there, so it must be here. I'm going to sew this to this, this to this, and then sew them together. By finger pressing toward the dark, the seams will nest just perfectly. I mentioned pressing to the dark or pressing this way or that. As you go along with this quilt, there are going to be times where that just doesn't work. Don't fret, just twist the seam and keep going, and don't think about it. It's on the back of your top, it's inside the batting, and nobody will ever know that you had to twist a seam. There are things I worry about making quilts. That's not one of them. And then sewing these two together, we will have a pinwheel block. I will pin the center so it doesn't wiggle. You've probably noticed I don't pin a lot. When you've got a quilt such as this where the seams are very short, it's often not necessary to use pins. A good pinch will do. And that will make up the corners of the Streak of Lightning. It's a really, really interesting border. I like making it very much. It's really fun. And when you're done with that one, you're going to move on to number 8, which, as I said before, is the same as number 2, only larger. The only thing I'm going to warn you about on number 8 is that it's a large print, and so you might want to consider where you cut that one, but we'll discuss that in the next lesson.